Oh, we were talking about last week about ahkam taklifiyah, right? I think that was the last thing we discussed, inshallah. So last week we had just a quick review of what we discussed. We had talked about what are the five ahkam in the shar', and we said that they're ahkam taklifiyah and ahkam wad'iyah. Ahkam taklifiyah are related to rewards and punishments, and ahkam wad'iyah are related to the accepting of a particular action. So ahkam taklifiyah, we had said last time, was wajib or fard, mustahab, mubah, makruh, and haram. So obligatory, meaning that I have to do it, and if I don't do it, there's a punishment. Mustahab, meaning if I do it, I'm rewarded, and if I don't do it, there's no punishment. Mubah, it's not related to reward or punishment. Like, for example, if I drink a glass of water because I'm thirsty, there's no reward, no punishment for this. And then makruh, if I do it, there's nothing happens. And if I avoid it, then I'm rewarded. And haram, something that if I avoid it, I'm rewarded. And if I do it, then I fall into sin. So ahkam wad'iyah, I would put these into five classifications as well. And so you have sahih, fasid, or batil. And basically, an example of this in this first category, it has to do with if an individual, for example, he prays and he forgets to do in dhuhr, he forgets to do tashahhud. He forgets to do tashahhud. And he stands up and he continues his prayer. Does he need to do tashahhud again? No, he doesn't, if you forgot. His salah is sahih. His salah is sound. Fasid and batil, these also have to do with fasid is if it is corrupted, right? If an action is corrupted. And batil if an action is rejected. So, for example, if an individual, he gets married and there's only one witness to his marriage. There's only one witness to his marriage. Is his marriage sahih? Would it be accepted? Everybody's confused. So let me talk about the conditions for marriage first. What are the conditions for marriage? Ijab wa qabul. So the husband and the wife, they both need to accept. They need to have a mahar, agreed upon a marriage dower, and there have to be two witnesses, right? There have to be two witnesses. So these are the conditions of a marriage. If I don't have one of these conditions, that's it. The marriage is invalid. So if I only have one witness, it's invalid, right? So such a marriage would be batil. Other examples would be like azima and rukhsa. This would be the second category. What is a rukhsa? When I'm traveling, what can I do with my prayers? Right, I can combine and I can shorten, right? If I'm outside, if I'm in the travel distance. This is called a rukhsa. Like, how do I pray at home? I pray a full prayer. This is called an azima, right? So this is the different other type of categorization. The other sabab. So this is a cause for something. If I do something, then it will cause something else to happen. So, for example, let me think of a good sabab. If I put a condition on myself, like doing a nadhr lillah azza wa jalla. So, for example, if I say, Ya Allah, if you give me an A on my exam, I'm going to fast for 3 days. And I get a B on the exam. What am I going to do? Nothing. I'm not going to fast. Why? Because the sabab is not there. The reason is not there. The next one, the shart. So you have different types of shart which would be related to something before. Before we talked about the reason, now we're going to talk about the condition. What is the condition I put for? So we said that if I get an A, I'm going to fast. If one is the reason, the other is the condition. What is the condition in this situation? If I get an A, that's the condition. Another example, if I want to pray, can I just wake up and start praying? I just wake up and I'm like, oh, let me pray 2 rak'ah. Can I do that? What do I need to do? I need to make wudu. Meaning that wudu is a shart, is a condition for salah. And the last one, mani'. So this is something that will prevent you. And the same thing here, whether it be a hadith al-akbar or a hadith al-asghar. So for example, if an individual is, he doesn't have wudu. If he doesn't have wudu and he wants to open the mushaf, Can he do that? No, right? Al-Khilaf, but the Jumhur say he can't. So he can't open the Mus'haf, meaning that my lack of wudu is preventing me from what? From this is a mana. This is a mana, and this would be an example of a hindrance. That was the 5 ahkam. Is microblading halal? Yes, it is. Microblading is basically so like for people like me who are bald, if we want our hair to grow back, what we do is like we have these small needles, and you roll these needles on those parts of the hair. Or sometimes people have very light beards, so what they'll do is they'll micro needle in those places to stimulate blood flow, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's fine. It's jais. Is it wrong to hang pictures on the fridge or the wall at home? So it depends on how you define pictures. We had spoken about this before. If you're talking about photography is not the same as pictures, right? These are two different things. But I would say in general it's disliked and is something that should be avoided. If a shoe covers your ankle and was tahir, could that technically be a khuf? Yes. So if an individual makes wudu and he puts on his socks and his shoes, and then he goes out to work, and let's say he's a construction worker. He's working outside. Time for salah comes in, and he breaks his wudu. What can he do now? He goes to make wudu. Does he need to take his construction boots and his socks off? No. He would make regular wudu, and then what would he do on the boots? He would wipe over the boots with the condition that how is he going to pray? He has to pray in the boots. He has to pray in the boots. So if he's praying outside, he would pray in those boots, and his salah would be valid. That would be something that's completely reasonable and something that's accepted. But this is the way that would do it. Like the questioner had mentioned here, if the shoe is covering the ankle, it's a tall shoe, so he's wearing a construction boot, he's praying outside, فَلَا بَأْس, his salah would be sahih. Remember, we took the ahkam wad'iyah, right? That's, all of you know. Why does the khuf time start beginning at the end time of the hadith instead of the time of purification? Wallahu a'lam. This is the way that we have taken it from the fuqaha, and this is the condition that he sallallahu alayhi wasallam stipulated. How does one do tayammum? Tayammum is very simple. So basically, you take any surface that is able to collect dust. Any surface that is able to collect dust, you would take it. You would just put your hands like this. You would wipe your hands up to the wrist, both sides. Then you wipe the face. I just did tayammum. That's it. That is the total encompassment of tayammum. Wallahu a'lam wa sallallahu ala khayri khalqin nabina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi.